Doggy, doggy. How old is too old to ride? Or more specifically, how old is too old to start? I've seen this quite a lot on like the YouTube recommendations, with people starting to document their riding journey later in life, and they always make the like a big deal out of, oh, I'm 50 and I'm learning to ride, I'm 60 and I'm learning to ride, or whatever. It's kind of a stupid question. About as stupid as the, can you do this with this bike? And the answer is always yes, to some degree. But like the age thing, it's not like an age. It's like you can have two people be 20 years old, and one be simply more physically capable and mentally capable of operating a motorbike than the other. So it's not an age thing at all. It's sort of, essentially, do you have the means, like both financial and, well, financial, physical and mental, really. And that's not just like you're mentally clever enough or whatever it is to pass the tests, but in terms of mentality, are you able to, occasionally curb your enthusiasm and not go max speed everywhere? And as far as physical goes, I mean, there are riders out there with missing limbs. I was watching one horror story recently about a young lad in America who crashed his bike, and he's paralysed his left arm completely. His left arm's completely useless now, and he's still riding a bike. So, as long as you're willing to operate within your like physical limitations or physical capabilities, there's absolutely nothing stopping you from jumping on a bike. I'd say more people should be encouraged to ride. More people should be encouraged to get second-hand bikes rather than propping up the ailing motorbike industry by constantly shelling out tens of thousands of pounds for a bike that's functionally no different than one that came out 10 years ago. But that's another story. I think it plays into the fact that there's a lot of people who would like to get into it, but they've never really had the chance, and then they see it as a, if I go up for my bike license now, people are going to think I'm having some sort of like crisis and they'll take the piss. And that is true, that will happen, but fuck them. Who cares? It'll either be something done in jest, like just mates taking the mick, or if it's serious enough, then sorry to say, but they weren't really your friends, were they? I mean, good friends will always ruthlessly and relentlessly take the piss, but they'll never be the desire to see your downfall. So you just take it and enjoy it, give some back. I mean, if you go all in, then yeah, if if you're getting your bike license, picking up a brand new, well, it used to be like a Harley, wouldn't it? But these days you'd be looking at a brand new like BMW GS, or you'll have all the expensive adventure boxes and gear. But there's nothing wrong with that, really. I think what people should do is find out where your local biker spot is, and then just turn up, just even in your car, just turn up in your car, and then just watch and wait on a summer's day, and you'll see a load of riders rock up on sport bikes in full kit, full leathers, all of it. They'll all pull up, they'll take the helmets off, and there'll either be a lot of grey hair or very little hair to see. Nowadays, you'd probably be more correct to say that it's unusual for younger people to learn how to ride a bike than it is for someone who's older, which is a shame, really. I think that's a lot to do with high-priced bikes and spiraling insurance costs. There seems to be a divide of, I don't know what age you need to reach before insurance stops trying to take advantage, but I'm 43, and a little admission, I was looking online at a Fireblade and I was just getting some insurance quotes. I was just playing, nothing serious, just playing around, and it was it's like 200 quid a year for a Fireblade. And I was like, oh, it's only 20 quid a month. I can afford that. Get a Fireblade. Okay, why not? And then I ended up looking at a ZX. And that's not important. Not important. What is important is, like, that insurance is, it's nothing, is it? It's nothing burgers. It's no money for a bike that you can get for a couple of grand. Now, I wonder what a fresh-faced 21-year-old would be quoted after passing his test for the same 20-year-old bike. I mean, what's the point in all these like licenses and these restrictions? So I was just keeping an eye on that taxi just in case. Yeah, what's the point in having all these restrictions and timed licenses and stuff like that to stop young people from jumping on big bikes? If the government says, all right, at 21 years old, you are old enough to ride a bike, and then the insurance company goes, nah, we don't think so. We don't think so. Get back on that 500. I think at that point you're sort of left as an older rider. I think it falls down to you to get out there on the bike and try and encourage more people to see some people see it as a hobby. I occasionally refer to it as a hobby, but not really. I'd say motovlogging is a hobby. Biking is just the thing I do it on. Although, ironically, if I wasn't on a bike, I wouldn't be motovlogging. Weird. Well, that's the thing, though. If it wasn't for, like, the insurance costs, if it wasn't for, like, spiraling insurance, then, like, biking would be an absolutely cracking way to have some cost-effective transportation. I mean, you're not going to get this level of performance in a car for anywhere near the same amount of money. And even all these people saying, oh, yeah, you're forgetting the cost of the gear as well. Oh, the gear adds up. Yeah, only if you're stupid. There's absolutely no need to be spending thousands on biking gear at all. I'd say you could get a set of gear for £500 or less. Have it actual proper gear, not Temu'd gear, but actual fully tested and rated gear with extras like waterproofs. Like, test times are a lot lower than cars. There's a massive backlog for cars. I don't think that's the case with bikes. Or at least it wasn't when I took my test. There was no issues in booking it. I mean, I don't know whether there's like a stigma of like older people who get a bike license. I mean, it's that whole midlife crisis thing, isn't it? People think, oh, if you're getting a bike, you're trying to recapture something. But I think it's probably safer to say you finally have the means and opportunity to do something that you might have wanted to do for a while. Oh, I can feel the wind's a bit strong. Yeah, you shouldn't let your age be an impediment to doing the things that you really want to do. Oh, lug it. I mean, I would say in terms of physicality as well on the bike, that certain bikes, mostly the sportier the riding position, the more physically healthy you should be, just for your own sake more than anything else. But there are plenty of, well, especially now, I think, because the demographics shifted quite a lot. I think that's why, like, ADVs and more upright bikes are becoming popular. You know, although I wonder, right, if there's going to be a swing the other direction within the next few years, because you've got, big bike manufacturers are starting to have issues. So I just fucking blimey me, I can't see where I'm going. Absolute jackass. Yeah, you've got like the big, like KTM and stuff like that is, I mean, it's not gone under, but I don't think, I mean, it's hanging on for dear life. And more companies starting to release mid-range bikes and more A2 compliant bikes. Along with a lot of these like Chinese-owned brands. But people said the exact same thing about like the Japanese brands, and now I think you'd be like safe to say that they are like a dominant name in the industry. And especially by making like decent, or I don't know, lower priced compared to the competition, lower priced bikes. Suitable for newer riders as well as old. Just seems like a game plan. I mean, I know a lot of them have been making like the odd 900 and stuff like that as well. They're all making some larger capacity bikes. There's like the Kiwi owned brand. Oh god, I don't know what they're like. They made that massive expensive cruiser. Although I think that was a step in the wrong direction, really. I don't think they built up enough brand confidence to be able to pull off selling a 10 grand bike when you can buy a second hand, like a Honda Rebel or something like that, you know, for the same price or less. Yeah, so my advice, doesn't matter how old you are, if you have the means, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Just don't forget, once you pass your test, remember to nod. That's all I'm asking. Nod and filter.